Well, hello, Toowoomba. Welcome to episode 27. This week, we are delighted to speak with a go-getter in our region, Kylie Hollands from GF Oats. A small business in Highfields making a big noise in the local community. We really admire people with such a passion for our community and small business. So it's great to be able to share the love. In news of the week, the council has opened the newly finished Charlton Council Depot, and this will be the principal depot for the council, with staff from around the region moving there progressively over the next 6 months. In great news for boaties, those that love to fish and picnic facilities near the dam wall and also Loveday Cove are now open again at Kubi Dam. And lastly, the Murphy's Creek Chili and Chocolate Festival will be going ahead in 2020. Dates have changed to coincide with the first weekend of the Carnival of Flowers. It will now be known as the Murphy's Creek Chili, Chocolate and Cheese Festival. Now let's get on with the show. I'm about to have a chat with Kylie from GF Oats. Now, GF Oats might sound an odd name, but it's certainly a great business that's doing very well here on the Darling Downs. And I thought it was time to get her on the podcast and have a bit of a chat to her. Morning, Kylie.
Hi, Shane. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you on the podcast.
I finally got here.
Yeah, exactly. We've been talking about this for a while. So let's just give our listeners a brief background of who you are and where we're up to with GF Oats.
Okay, so a very quick snapshot is GF Oats Australia was born out of somebody in 2007 alerting me to the fact that there was an oats brand in America that was gluten-free. So at the time, I was producing my own gluten-free flours and I had them in the health food market. So that was born out of a family that had multiple food intolerances and I couldn't find anything, so I just did it myself. So in 2009, I bought in 1 pallet of gluten-free oats, which was around about 750 kilos, and it was labelled in the American brand. And it barely hit the shores of Brisbane, and I was alerted to the fact that there's a sub-clause in the Australian food labelling laws that says that no product that contains oats can be labelled gluten-free. Oops, didn't know that one.
Okay. Just a little step, little hurdle to get over.
Just a little mountain in front of me. So anyway, all that aside, I really thought, well, I, like the farmers that I continue to buy that product from, had a passion for the healthy food market because, like my family, we were avoiding GMO corn and soy and heavily laden sugar products, which is the alternative for people in the gluten-free market. And I went, well, that's going to create a whole lot of other health issues. So I'm going to keep going. And really, I'm a farmer's daughter. I'd been looking for something everybody talks about your why, and my why was really leaving a legacy. And I felt as though this product might be that. I knew I was going to have some major hurdles, not being able to call it gluten-free. And that study that changed the food labelling laws is an outdated study now, very outdated. So we know now that oats naturally is gluten-free, but it is contaminated through the supply chain. But 1 in 100 celiacs may react to the protein that's in oats. So that's the little question mark around that product. But just so the listeners know, GF stands for Gloriously Free Oats, okay? We don't label, we don't claim the product is gluten-free on our packaging. So we do comply with Australian labelling laws. So let's get all of that out of the road before anybody starts messaging us.
Okay. So when did this first happen? You got your first shipment in?
So 2009, the end of 2009, it took us 12 months to actually sell that product. So I had quite an online following, and back in those days, that was quite unusual, but I was selling a lot of my product online. No stores or distributors or anything would take the brand. So we had to play around with labeling and how we were going to communicate to our customers, which was really customers like me who were gluten intolerant. So I really said to the celiacs, even though the family that created our farmers are celiacs, I said to the celiacs, look, don't get the product, don't buy it if you're unsure of it. Just sort of started to reach out and find the gluten-free community, which is like 1 in 20 people now are choosing to follow a gluten-free diet, as opposed to like 1% are celiacs, which they have the allergy to gluten.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fairly serious problem to have.
Well, it can be, but I was just only reading some studies that have come out last night, and the latest tests and results that they've done on oats, specifically that's uncontaminated. So the old studies that they did that has caused this labelling law issue in Australia was based on contaminated oats. So my dad used to grow oats in central Queensland. He grew wheat, he grew rye, he grew barley, and he basically used the same bins, the same trucks, harvesters. That's where the contamination happens. So I guess the latest studies show, though, that people, this 1 in 100 celiacs that reacted to oats, interestingly, no damage was done to their gut, their intestine, or anything. They just had inflammatory markers when they took blood tests. So it's a really exciting result. We currently have studies going on at Monash University, and I'm in contact with the head researchers down there. So we are slowly moving towards a food labelling change. I really, really hope I live to see it.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
Oh, dear. We joke about it a lot. So anyway.
Yeah. The wheels sometimes turn very slowly, don't they?
Well, I guess, Shane, the confusing part about this particular product is that customers can go and Google, I'm on a gluten-free diet, what foods can I eat that are gluten-free? Of course, prior now to COVID, we were travelling everywhere and consumers would see gluten-free oats labelled and certified everywhere around the world. And we are a global market, and hopefully we will be again one day, but it's a challenge because customers here go, well, is your product gluten-free, isn't it? Like, I'm really needing oats in my diet because it's a core ingredient in many people's diets.
Yeah.
And so it creates a lot of confusion. Nobody knows about the labelling laws. People are labelling things incorrectly. There's a brand going around at the moment saying that oats are good for a gluten-free diet, and it's against the law. So you can't do it. So you must be careful about the story you tell.
Okay, so what sort of products are you producing with these oats?
So when we decided to continue this brand, we just bought in a conventional oats, and we decided that one day, I guess my dream was to be able to grow and produce gluten-free oats here in Australia. Why not? We're a huge oat growing country. But really, when I first went out to farmers, they went, oh, well, there's no market for it. So you have to create supply and demand. So we went back to our farmers in the States and said, look, your little packages that we bought in aren't really any good. We want, what's the biggest amount we can bring in? So we ended up bringing them in 25 kilo bags or 50-pound bags. And we had connected with Endeavour here on the Downs, and we thought that was a wonderful business. And we basically do everything else here in Australia that we can. So we buy packaging here, we downpack the packaging, we have a business here out at Highfields Industrial Estate, we employ local people. So everything we do locally, and we're an Australian-owned company. However, our product is still imported from GF Harvest in America. So 2016, we did a rebrand, which enabled me to, I call it my shower moment, where I had this idea and I thought, well, why don't we call it Gloriously Free? So that has evolved into GF Oats. So we can communicate our brand, but we can still stay compliant. And we rebranded, we did new packaging, which is the box bottom bags you see today on shelves, on retail shelves. We then brought in some organic by popular demand and have since brought in Quick Oats, which is really popular now too. So we package those products in small retail, larger packs, bulk packs, and sell them to over 3,000 stores now throughout Australia and Woolworths New Zealand. And just as an added to that, last year we decided to add in some additional products and specifically Anzac biscuits. So we did an Anzac biscuit and a chocolate chip biscuit. We have them made locally here in Toowoomba. And
now, I'm going to interrupt you here for a second.
You had a taste?
I've had both the Anzac and the chocolate chip.
Be nice.
And I love them. I love them.
Yeah, we very rarely,
especially the chocolate chip.
Yeah, we very rarely get bad reviews about them because they're healthy, they're tested to nil gluten, they've got refined sugar-free, they're organic, and they're dairy-free and vegan. So they really tick a lot of boxes. And I guess these biscuits are bringing all my health knowledge and my experience with a lot of different ingredients that are gluten-free and, different that people may not have worked with. And this was, I guess, my life of 20 years cooking for kids and family with multiple food intolerances. So I'm very proud of them.
Yeah, you should be proud of them because I think they are a great product. They taste great, and you can have yourself a treat, as it were, and not have any guilt feeling or concerns about it as far as your health is concerned.
That's right. And the big thing, if you would have turned the packet over and looked at the ingredients, you would have recognised every ingredient. There's no numbers there. There's no words with long OLs at the end of it. So they're real food. That's the thing that I think that we as manufacturers need to go back to service our customers, and whether they're customers like yourself who may not be looking to comply with different food ingredients, why shouldn't you enjoy something that is healthy and isn't loaded with all the nasties?
Exactly. Now, obviously, it's fairly easily available around a lot of the stores here in Toowoomba. What if someone listening is sort of not local or they can't find it at their store? Have you got like an online presence they can order from?
Yes, so our website is gfoats.com.au, and on there we have a very extensive list of all the stores around Australia. So predominantly they're in health food and IGAs, whole food stores, bulk foods. So go for that type of thing. On the locator, you can just put your postcode in there and you can find all the stores around your area because we do have distributors in every state. The big secret is that we have an Australian farmer who's going to supply us with some first Australian gluten-free oats next year. So we have put it on.
Woo-hoo.
I know. So this is a big one for me. So we've been working on this project since 2016. So it's 4 years, and I guess it's delayed this year because of obvious reasons. But we're so excited for this, and so hopefully we will take, we will take this product into supermarkets so that people all around the country can have an easy access to oats that aren't contaminated with gluten.
Have you had any preliminary discussions with the big ones? And I don't like naming them and giving them, credence for obvious reason, but the big ones, Coles and Woolworths, what's been their reaction?
So the first thing that we have had said to us over the 11 years we've been doing this is, come back and see us when we can label it gluten-free. Because at the moment we label it gluten-friendly, so that's a little bit of a different type of way of labeling, and people don't know, well, is it gluten-free or isn't it gluten-free? I don't know what it is. So what we've really done is, I'm an ex-school teacher, so I guess I've got education in my blood. So we've gone out and educated the consumers in Australia. So you'll see the term coined, uncontaminated from the gluten found in wheat, rye and barley. Some competitors have taken that clause and they've actually coined it on their own websites, which is great, but that's how we've actually educated the consumer. And we're also on social media and Google Ads and Instagram. At YouTube, we do a Kylie's Kitchen presentation once a month, and we do a lot of bulk. So customers, and I'm a country girl, so we package things up for people who are out in the bush. A lot of customers in country areas that we help. They like to buy in bulk, and they like to buy once every 3 months or something like that. So you'll also see some products in there. We've joined forces with some local companies, 2 local soap companies here, and I do an oat soap and I do an oat milk soap. So we love working with people locally. Our food photographer here is local. So yeah, anything that we can do here, we're really a champion for. And we've been at the farmers markets for a long time. This year we've actually got so busy that it's been a real stretch for us. So you may not see us at the markets as often as we would love to be there.
Is there anything else product-wise that you're working on in the background that could be happening in the future that you might be able to give me a scoop on?
So I've told you about the Aussie Oats. I've got another little add-on product that we think is going to be big, but if I tell you, I'll have to kill you, Shane. So
well, don't do that, because that means I wouldn't get any more chocolate chip cookies.
But I do have a big one that's happened. So just a couple of things. We've been nominated for finalists in the Food and Beverages Award for 2020, which is really...
Well, wow.
Yeah, it's a real wow, because if you look at the other companies that we're up against, never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that we would be up against them in a final. So
that's huge.
And if we win that,
Thank
you. If we win that, we actually do get a one-on-one with Woolworths and Coles. So you've just got to keep going back to these companies, because things change all the time. So if anybody else has a product or service and you get a no, you definitely will never get as many no's as what I've had, I'm sure. But every year we just keep coming back and they go, bloody hell, you're still here? Like, you're still here? And so we have a laugh about it, because we just go, well, don't let your ego get in the way. Just go back. And also I'm up for finalist as Oz Mumpreneur for the year. So last year we won the food and beverage category. And I went, well, why not go for the whole thing this year? Like, go for the big one, I say. So
there's no holding you back, is there,
well,
Kylie?
Look, I am actually very humble about it, but I want to do it because I want to show other women, really, that, because I honestly never thought that I was worthy of any of this stuff, even 2 years ago. And last year I went, you know what? I really have to stop. You have to stop at some point and go, look at what you've done, look at what you've achieved, because we get so buried working in our businesses. We don't spend the time to go, hey, look, and step yourself up. When you step up, magic just happens, and people do recognize what you've done, but you also inspire other people to have a crack. Like, that's what I just say, have a crack. Sometimes I've done half a dozen or a dozen other things that haven't worked, but one thing will stick. So just have a crack.
That old cliche, if at first you do not succeed, try and try and try again.
Absolutely. It's so true. So I really would like to inspire people to do that. And our big thing is we're just doing a drive with Legacy. So during April, when everything shut down, we were able to get a beautiful collaboration with Legacy Queensland. And so for every sale that we have of any of our Anzac related products, we donate back to Legacy Queensland. for this Legacy Week coming up the end of August, beginning of September, we're doing a legacy drive. So if anybody hears this, this will be something we continue. We're going to double what we give Legacy Queensland. We're going to give them some money back also on our chocolate chip one. And we're just inviting
I can help out
schools
there.
and cafes to buy the biscuits, eat as many biscuits, give them away, and know that we've doubled what we're going to. So for every 10 packets, we're going to give back $5 to Legacy, and they are super excited about it. So it's going to start rolling out next week, which is great. And they also have Remembrance Day in November and then Anzac Day. So we get 3 opportunities to really push and drive to help this wonderful charity. I just love it. It really sits well with us as a company to be able to partner with a great charity.
Yeah, and look, I admire you for that. It's one thing to be running a business and, you know, we're all here to make a dollar for ourselves, of course. That's the way it is. But I think it's great when businesses like yourself go, okay, well, that's good, but how can I give a bit back? And I applaud you for that.
It's huge. I think we've done like $2,500 so far. It's not a huge amount, but it'll just grow. We've got to, as I said, we just wanted to start and then just let it grow and bubble away.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question that I ask all my guests. What's your favourite thing about the Toowoomba region?
Food.
That's right. You're a girl after my own heart.
I mean, oh my gosh, the cafe scene, the fresh produce, the markets, like what we have in the Darling Downs is just so special. And for us as a business, it's been a perfect place because we're on the inland route. We can transport and operate so easily. People say, oh, why don't you go to the Sunshine Coast or somewhere else? And I go, no way. We have a network of fabulous people who are country people. They're real people. It's a wonderful community. My family all live on the coast in Brisbane, and I say, no way, I'm staying here. I just love what we had to offer on the Downs. So that was easy. That was an easy one for me.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Yeah.
I hope that everybody who's listening gets behind your drive, particularly for Legacy, sort of thing on Facebook and that sort of thing, so people can keep tabs on it. I wish you all the very, very best with it, and I think we'll need to catch up soon for a nice coffee and a chocolate chip
anything.
Cookie.
You shout the coffee, I'll shout the biggies. How about that?
You're on.
Thanks so much, Shane. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise. Bye for now, Kylie.
Okay, bye now.
Did you know you can listen to us on Spotify as well as your favourite podcast app?
Hi, I'm Katie Robertson-Kelp from ECM Consulting with over 17 years in career development. I can help you succeed with job application documents, interview coaching, LinkedIn profiles and your personal brand. ECM Consulting offers coaching and education on the complete recruitment process, helping you to secure your next job. ECM Consulting will help you stand out from the crowd. Call for a chat on 0409 866 456 or visit ecmconsulting.com.au for more.
What's On brought to you by the Toowoomba Regional Council. Monday the 17th sees the Leaders in Business online August meetup. Starts at 6:30pm. See the Facebook event for details. Thursday the 20th of August, the Canvas Co-working General Member Meeting is on from 12:30. Members see the website for RSVP details. Friday the 21st of August sees the Classic Beauty Therapy Winter Wonderland Long Lunch on again from 11:30 till 5pm. Or if you're into golf, Two Square Events is holding the This is a Conversation Starter Charity Golf Day from 11:30am. Both these events have their details on Facebook. Also on Friday the 21st of August at the Empire Theatre, Best of the Bee Gees with Colin Peterson. Tickets at the Empire Theatre website. Markets. Please support our local markets. On Saturday the 22nd of August, the Toowoomba's Farmers Markets are on from 8 a.m. under the windmill at the Cobb & Co Museum. And on Sunday the 16th, the Toowoomba PCYC markets at the PCYC Toowoomba from 6 a.m. And the return of the Makers Markets at the Mills Precinct in Ruthven Street from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. Well, that's it again for another week. We would love you to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, or join our email list and get it emailed directly to you. And it's okay, we won't spam your inbox. If you are holding a sporting, business or school event, we would love to hear from you so we can include you in our podcast. Enjoy your week, stay safe. I'm Shane. See you around, Toowoomba.